You're at a backyard fire pit, orange sparks lifting into the dark, and your friend leans in and says, "Tell me about the time that happened to you." Everyone else already knows what's coming. You can see the story loading behind their eyes before they even open their mouths. But nothing loads for you. You know exactly what you learned. You use it every week. You just can't say who said what, or where you were standing, or what happened first. Around the fire, someone else picks up a story instead. Every name intact, every line of dialogue delivered like a script, laughter landing right on cue. You offer the moral instead of the memory, and you feel the quiet drop in the group's attention. You start to believe you weren't paying attention that day. You were paying closer attention than anyone at that fire. Your brain just filed the meaning and shredded the receipt. Picture two rooms inside the same building, both taking in the same events. One room is a court stenographer's booth, a machine typing every word, every date, every face verbatim, page after page, filed and numbered. The other room is an editor's desk, one lamp, a stack of the day's raw pages. And one job: read the whole mess, cross out everything but the headline, and pin that single headline to a corkboard. Most people's memory splits the traffic between both rooms. Yours sends almost everything straight to the editor. The instant an experience lands, it starts compressing. By the next week, the name on the page is gone. The date circled on the calendar is gone. The exact words in quotes are gone. What's left is one clean, permanent line pinned to the board. It isn't a weak memory, it's aggressive editing. The detail was only ever the packaging. Your mind opens the box, keeps what was inside, and drops the box straight into the trash bin by the desk. Look closer at that stenographer's booth and its floor-to-ceiling filing cabinets, drawers stuffed with transcripts nobody has reopened in years. The editor's corkboard, by contrast, only has room for one card at a time. Pin a fresh headline, and the old card underneath still shows through, already fading at the edges. That's not a flaw in the system. That's the whole point of running it this way. That editor's desk has a use nobody warns you about. Sit through 10 separate arguments with 10 separate people, and most memory keeps 10 separate folders, same shape, never cross-referenced. Yours pins one headline for all 10, because the editor already noticed there the same story on the fourth or fifth pass. You walk out of a chaotic meeting, everything still sliding off the table behind you, already knowing exactly what it meant before anyone else has finished arguing about what just happened. Someone asks you for advice, and what comes out sounds like it took years to earn, because it did. You just can't produce the receipts. You can hand someone the headline. You can't hand them the drafts, and most of the time, nobody actually wanted the drafts. That trade has a bill attached. Sit across a desk from an interviewer who leans forward and says, "Walk me through a specific time you handled that." And you have the skill cold, with nothing to hang it on. A friend notices you can't recall the restaurant, the exact words, the day of the week, and reads forgetting as not caring, when it was never about caring at all. And there's a quieter cost, one you carry alone, trusting conclusions you can no longer check. The editor filed the headline and burned the notes. You believe the lesson completely. You just can't go back and verify it against what actually happened. Here's what actually works, and it isn't remember harder, that fights the wrong room entirely. Catch the story at the exact moment it's compressing, while the raw pages still exist on the editor's desk. One line written down next to the lesson, the same day. What happened in order before the headline replaces it. Not the whole transcript, just enough that the box isn't empty if you ever need to open it again. A single notebook kept by your bed, or a notes app in your pocket, is fast enough to beat the editor to the punch. The trick is speed, not detail. And in conversation, stop apologizing for the story you can't produce. Lead with a pattern instead. Say the headline first, the way you'd hand someone a finished piece instead of the drafts nobody asked to see. Back at the fire pit, someone turns to you again, same question, same orange light on everyone's faces. This time, you don't reach for names you don't have. You lead with what it taught you, clean and certain. And you see the same group lean in the way. They leaned in for the story with every detail intact. You never needed the receipts. You just needed to stop apologizing for not having them.